Alright boys, we got a new patch, 7.2F. I'm pretty excited. Minor coming up soon, and you know, it's good to see that because I'm excited to, well, I'm hoping to see basically that these pro teams will pick some new heroes and reinvent the meta to some extent, because I've been seeing a lot of Doom, been seeing a lot of Drow, quite a bit of Lone Druid, you know, Puck, even Tiny and Treant. They've been kind of everywhere. They've been everywhere. And so much so to the point where I don't like seeing them that much. I don't enjoy it, and hopefully this switches up the meta a lot. Not gonna lie, I'm not convinced it does, but let's go through the patch, try to understand it, and see what's changed. Also, if you guys are excited for, you know, just seeing a lot of the popular heroes such as Puck, OD, Lone Druid, Snapfire get nerfed, especially a hero like Treant, like the video. Helps me out, helps me to know what you want to see in the future, and of course, let's get into it. Also, over on the main gameleap website, I plan to do some more content in terms of pro replays. Usually, I focus more on doing the pro replays for YouTube, but I want to do a few for the main website as well. In addition, I'm doing Random with 6K, if you don't know what that is. Random with 6K is where I basically play pubs and I analyze my own games so you can get in the head of, you know, me, a pro player, because typically when I'm doing these pro replay analysis, I have to, not completely guess, but somewhat guess on what they're thinking and what their opinions are. But when I'm doing my own replay analysis, I can give you exactly what I'm thinking and show you exactly how I win my games and how you can do it too. Now, the first thing we have to notice is general changes. And basically what it says is gold bonus from the team that is behind no longer considered if the difference is only 1K or less. Yeah, I think this is just trying to prevent people from getting odd comebacks when they're not really that far behind. What I heard recently is that basically you could kill a hero, and even if you were only slightly behind, you would get an insane amount of gold. 500, 600, 700 gold, especially if they were the top net worth hero. And that kind of just throws off the state of the game because it's like, oh, I'm playing Slark, my team is only down by 500 gold, which is nothing. I kill some, you know, core because he gets caught out of position, and I get 600 gold. And all of a sudden, this Slark, who's not even behind, and probably the most farmed hero in the game, is now by far the most farmed hero in the game. And it's like, you know, this kind of creates an issue. So I like this change. It seems like it was necessary. Not gonna lie, it's not like I knew this was a major issue of Dota. I didn't, but it makes sense that it could cause issues, especially in specific games where this would come into play. Now let's get into hero changes. The first one is Doom. Starting strength reduced by 2. Okay. Scorched Earth damage reduced. Wow. Okay, by 5 at all levels. Nah, alright. And mana cost increased. Yeah, okay, increased by 5 at all levels. No. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, 5 at all levels starting at level 2. So, yeah, Doom is basically just much worse at level 1. 40 less HP, which is what 2 strength means. Also, 2 less damage, and 5 less damage of Scorched Earth, which matters because, you know, it's a ticking spell. So 5 damage might not seem like a lot, but obviously it adds up. So do I think Doom is out of the meta? I do not. I still think this hero is good, but a good change because it was way too good. So, you know, I like this. Also, one thing I want to say, just because it's on the top of my mind and nothing was changed or switched about the hero in 7.23F, is TA. I personally think TA is one of the better heroes in Dota right now. That's not that hot of a take because the win rates of the recent tournaments show that that was the truth, and I think the hero is still very good in pubs, and there was nothing changed about TA. I kind of expected TA to be changed in some regard in the next patch or a following patch because of this and because of her win rates, but she has been ignored. And therefore, I do expect to see a lot of tea in the upcoming tournament, and we'll kind of see what happens. But now let's get back into the patch. We see Drow Ranger multi-shot mana increased by 10 at all levels, starting from level 2, and going up, obviously, up till 30 more mana at max, which actually does matter, because Drow can run out of mana if you're spamming Frost Arrows and fighting a lot, so this can matter. I don't think Drow is that bad. I still think Drow is probably like a 54% win rate sort of hero, 53. I actually haven't checked the win rate recently, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I remember seeing after her last patch nerfs that she still stayed up there around the 53% win rate range, and I don't think this is going to kick her too much below, maybe like 52.5 type of change. But mana cost, does it hurt Drow? Yes. However, you can buy a Clarity, so it's like, not great. Maybe you don't have a Wraithman for that fight coming up at 5 minutes and it somehow changes the entire course of the game because you had to buy a Clarity, but unlikely. And also the slowest change, so it's better at level 1, which is odd. It is 0.25 seconds better at level 1, but it then scales down, only going up by 0.75 at all levels, essentially meaning it's 0.5 less at max, which I think is overall a nerf if I had to give you my 2 cents. Lone Druid Spirit Bearer level 1 base nerf by 5, which is actually quite a lot. It's like any hero getting nerfed by 5. I think this matters quite a bit to the point where Lone Druid players will just miss last hits because of a misjudgment. So rest in peace, Bulldog. It was a good run, but your hero is officially dead. No, I'm kidding. Lone Druid is not dead, guys. It's actually not even slightly dead. So next on the list, we have OD. Sanity's equip damage multiplier reduced from 0.5 to 0.4. This seems pretty significant, only because that's, I guess I can't say it's like a 20% reduction, but, you know, assuming it could go down to 0, that would be, you know, 20% of that number. I'm just trying to rationalize in my head. And yes, it certainly matters. It certainly matters, actually, because multipliers, it's similar to the Doom thing where it's like, okay, because it's tick, this in this case is basically saying, you know, like, let's say we do some quick math. If it did 100 damage to a hero, now it will do 80, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe my math is good. This is some NA math, guys. I'll try my best, please. Don't make fun of me. But I think this matters does not make OD unplayable, though. Puck, a lot of Puck changes to be expected. Puck is definitely one of the best heroes in Dota right now. Maybe we'll still see. I actually haven't read the patch previous to this in full, so base damage reduced by 2. Okay, doesn't mean too much, but definitely can matter. And fixed phase shift attacking zombies. Frankly, I've never seen this because Undying is not that popular right now, but okay. Waning Rift no longer moves your hero if you are rooted on cast. Okay, this is important because now if you play a root hero such as CM or Ember Spirit or Treant, and you root up a Puck, in the past, Puck could use her Waning Rift to still disengage, right? You could still disengage to a small extent. Not large, but to the point where it would save you, right? You know, Waning Rift, its cast range is relatively far, especially if you are a support and took the cast range talent. And therefore, I do think this actually matters quite a lot. Now into talents, this is very important. Just briefly looking at it, phase shift attacks is no longer your level 10 talent, which is significant because basically this talent allowed you to do an insane amount of damage at level 10. You could clear waves very effectively with just phase shift to a large extent, right? You could only use one spell and then phase shift to clear out a wave. Not fully, but, you know, at least weaken it up to a large extent. And it was just super good for killing things like small camps, medium camps. It costed absolutely no mana. It was great for fighting because it just used this like insane attack range. I swear, its attack range feels so far, but that's just Puck. And yeah, therefore I think this matters. However, it's still at level 15, and now you have a 30 damage channel at level 10, which is pretty good, right? That's pretty good because, you know, Puck, you can buy treads, you can buy, you know, 2 nulls, you can even buy a casual glove of haste, which I'm a big fan of, and you can right click with plus 30 damage, which is a very high damage challenge. That's not to be laughed at. A lot of heroes have 15 damage challenge, and Puck is a pretty good hero when it comes to right-clicking. You have high attack range, you have a good animation, and you can buy a lot of attack speed items, so I don't think Puck is dead. I still think the hero is very good and should be picked in this meta. Next up on the list, we have Snapfire, and not too much to change. I still think this hero is one of the best supports in the game right now. Its base armor is reduced by 1, which is relatively significant. It's one of those heroes where I don't think it traded insanely well. It does have its Q, a little shredder, which made it fairly solid. But overall, if you don't have a little shredder up, you would struggle to trade. And essentially what this means is that Snapfire is worse in lane, which matters a lot. It matters quite a lot. Also, your Mortimer's Kiss was increased by 20 seconds, which is huge. So huge, right? So huge, because this is one of those spells where if you have it up, you basically win a fight, or you can solo kill anyone. Or, I mean, at least, you know, play into a kill with any sort of teammate that has a stun. And 20 seconds is a very long time, considering this is a spell you get at level 6 and want to use basically off cooldown if you could, because it just enabled your hero to be absolutely broken. And so yes, I think this is actually a very big nerf to Snapfire, even though it might seem like fairly subtle. I do think because the hero can play such high tempo with a 90-second cooldown spell, it getting pushed to 110 does not kick the hero out of the meta, and it still does way too much damage. The spell is broken, but it hurts. Tiny, base attack speed reduced from 100 to 90, so just kind of a worse right-click. Your strength game was also reduced from 4.1 to 3.8, but it's also a significantly worse roamer now, because roaming Tiny was still getting picked a lot, as its movement speed got increased significantly, which is why I thought the hero would be a roamer since the beginning of patch 7.23. But essentially, yes, Tiny is now a much worse roamer because the cast range on toss was reduced by 300, which is a ton. It definitely can be the difference between you being able to toss someone under a tower or not, which is easily the difference between killing them or not. And finally, tree grab movement speed penalty was increased by 25 to 30, which means you move slower with tree grab. Does it matter a lot? It's only 5 more, but sure. Tree and Protector, one of the best 4s in the game, nerfed. Strength gain reduced, which is fine, making the hero less tanky. Notable change to lead speed, making it quite a bit worse at all levels. It seems like it's a bit hard to read, but the main thing I would note about it is that it is 8% less at level 1, which is actually quite significant, and 14% less at max. So overall, yeah, pretty big nerf to Treant's Protector ability to slow people, and overgrowth mana cost nerfed. And yes, Treant actually could have quite significant mana costs, as you have 4 active abilities, so I think this hurts the hero. Also, it is 100 plus at max, so yeah, I definitely think Treant might have some mana issues. Ursa. Urshock, similar to now the Waning Rift, change as well. No longer moves your hero if you're rooted, so it's basically easier to kill Ursa. I think it's important because Ursa is one of the heroes where, as is, it's impossible to kill Ursa. You have mobility from Urshock, you're going to buy BKB, you have Enrage, if you get a melee range, it just kills you, and therefore I think this is a big nerf to Ursa, as it's going to allow him to get kited by specific heroes a lot better. Vengeful Spirit cooldown on Magic Missile. This is actually big, and the reason being is that you did not want to have to max Magic Missile on Venge. In fact, a lot of the time you could just leave it at level 1, max out Wave of Terror, max out your passive, and that is great. Making it a worse value point, which is what this does because it is now worse at level 1, is a massive nerf to a hero that wanted to have Magic Missile as a pure value point. Now you might have to max it out, so you do not have to wait 12 seconds to use it, which is quite a big difference from 9. And also, Nether Swap cast point was made worse. So essentially, maybe this is the difference between you saving someone or not. I probably would assume not, but it could. It certainly could. And finally, last change of the patch is Viper. Poison attack mana cost increased from 20 to 25, which matters actually quite a lot because this hero has a lot of mana issues, insane mana issues. And sure, you can buy more mangoes, clarities, and whatever to offset it. But the thing is, you have mana issues, and therefore, anything nerfing his mana cost is going to hurt the hero. So yes, I do think this is a pretty big nerf for Viper. Is Viper still good? Yes, most definitely. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis of patch 7.23F, please like and subscribe as it helps our channel grow. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. Are you tired of being hard stuck at your rank? Over at gameleap.com, we have a library of hundreds of guides authored by pro players and coaches covering literally every aspect of Dota. Whether you're looking to master a new hero or role, or just polish up your existing skills, GameLeap is the proven place for competitive gamers to hone their craft and unlock their secret potential. Hit the link on screen right now, to take advantage of our special offer for a 25% discount, guys, 25%, and start your journey today.